Hello YouTube, another update from me, your favorite updatey person. Anyway, today I had my doctor's appointment. Well, first I got to talk to I on Skype, and I feel bad because I'm always like asleep or being like 30 more minutes sleep, but but I did. I got up and it was fun talking to her. And then I had my doctor's appointment, and I really like my doctor here. He reminds me a lot of the last doctor that I was seeing in the U.S. The guy that I saw in the U.S. Was this really like old school psychiatrist guy. So like his office was kind of like walking into a study out of Mad Men, like that kind of like leather furniture and wood on the walls. And it was fun. But he was incredible. Like at first I think he didn't want to work with me because I'm so young, and he thought, I don't know what he thought, probably like, working with teenagers or working with young adults. But since I don't really behave like people my own age, as a general rule, and I knew what my problems were, I think that made a big difference. Like I walked in pretty much being like, so this happened, and I've tried these drugs and they don't work, so what have you got? And he looked at a list, because my father also sent me a list of the medications that he was taking, because my father, I said, you sound like you're bipolar, a long time before a doctor was like, you sound like you're bipolar. So my father sent me a list of the medications that he was taking, because as a general rule I respond to medications the same way my father does. Like my mom takes a different thing for migraines than my dad and I do, and allergies, and as a general rule, if it's good for my dad, it's usually okay for me. So we brought him a list, and I was like, so this is my dad's stuff, and I'm having a very similar experience to him. And the doctor's like, well, probably because you're bipolar too. And I was like, oh yeah, that would kind of do it. Sorry, my back is super itchy. I can't tell if a mosquito bit me or if it's just my strap. Also, these are not my boobs. My boobs are about, I don't know why this is here. The cups on this thing are so weirdly placed, like they don't, so it's like air. But anyway, I just noticed. I was like, yeah. So, and I saw him for I think 6 months, because I started seeing him early February, and then I guess our last appointment was right before I graduated, or right after I graduated. So August, late August. But he was just really cool, and he listened to me and listened to my input, and when I said, because for a long time the Lamictal was working just fine at a lower dosage. The thing with Lamictal is that you're supposed to escalate gradually by a monthly basis, and that the recommended therapeutic dose is around 300 to 400 milligrams. But I was having a few other side effect issues with it. We got it up to 150, and I was like, 100 seemed to work. So we went back down to 100, and that's what I was on until I got here. And my doctor now that I see reminds me a lot of this guy. He listens really well to my concerns and to what I want. Like he ultimately lets me make all the decisions, which is really nice. A lot of doctors will just be like, take this and this, bye. But he actually listens, and when I'm like, and like I said, like I talked to him after the first appointment and was like, these are much more expensive than I thought they were going to be. And he was the one that suggested I get that insurance form. So I wouldn't even have, like, if I hadn't asked for it, nobody would have told me. I would not be in this extremely beneficial situation that I'm in now. So that's nice. So I went in, and he always just asks how I am. Like, it's funny how so many psychologists and psychiatrists, they don't ask you how are you feeling, which seems like a really obvious thing to ask, but a lot of them don't. They'll ask stuff like, so how's your medication, or how's your mood, but they don't ask you, like, how are you feeling? Because when a psychiatrist asks you how's your mood, they mean were you depressed or were you manic or something like that. But it's not like a friendly how are you doing kind of thing. And his is very much a how are you doing kind of thing. So he's like, well, how are you? And I was like, well, I got fired. And he went, what? And I'm like, I know. And I pointed to the calendar and I was like, this day I finished work. He walked in. He told me I was fired, and he didn't really give me a reason why, and told me not to come back. And I was like, I was pretty surprised. And he goes, yeah, I would imagine, but in a Japanese way. So he's like, そうね、そうね、びっくりしたね。びっくりした。急に。So, yeah, I was surprised. Happened very suddenly. And he said, so, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, I don't really want to teach anymore. It's like I've run through the gamut, and now it's like that just, I was already kind of shaky on confidence at the end of Korea, and that just kind of crushed any lasting confidence I may have had in my ability as a teacher. And I said that I was looking for stuff, and I was having a hard time finding stuff that's not teaching. And he's like, well, you'll probably do fine. I mean, you speak Japanese just fine. I'm like, you say that, but then he said, I was like, because I told him I was like, the thing is that when I'm teaching kids, I think kids are capable of a lot more than their parents think they are. So I push them to do more, and the parents don't like that. And he goes, yeah, Japanese parents are probably like that, yeah. Like, I could sort of, he understood what I meant and what I was getting at, but he was thinking, yeah, that kind of would be a problem. And he goes, well, why don't you teach adults? And I just sort of thought about, I was like, fuck, my first job in Korea was adults, and teaching wasn't the problem there, it was the management, but, and every so often a student, but, yeah, so I was like, been there, done that. And then he was like, well, how are you doing? Like, are you coping with it? I'm like, yeah, like the first few days I was kind of, really kind of a mess and not sure what I was gonna do, but I had my friends who supported me, and my parents were like, you can do it. So like, I didn't fall apart the way I did repeatedly in Korea. I kept it together. So I was like, actually, I'm okay. I thought I would have been a lot worse, but I'm actually okay. And then I'm looking at this as a chance to do something different, something that I enjoy. So, which is not to say that I didn't enjoy teaching. It's just I didn't enjoy all the other stuff that surrounds teaching. Like, I didn't enjoy office politics. I didn't enjoy kissing up to parents. Like, the act of teaching I liked that, but it's the rest of it that I can't fucking tolerate. So, but then he said, well, I think you should keep teaching, because Japan needs more kind teachers like you. I kind of went, oh. Like, he actually used the word kind. Oh. So, yeah, and he was really understanding about my financial situation. So he gave me a 2-day prescription, and then I'm going back on Friday to get a proper prescription, because I'll have money. Yay, money! So, there's that. I had an interview, what is it, Wednesday? Yesterday, with a consulting company, and I really want the position, but I kind of don't think I'm going to get it. because I haven't been in Japan long enough, and they think maybe I don't understand Japanese culture, which is a whole other level of bullshit. Like, please, girlfriend, please, kind of thing. Like, you don't study as long as I have and not pick up culture. Like, I did live in Korea. They're different, but they're pretty similar on a lot of things. They don't tell them that. Koreans would freak the fuck out, but it's true. Um, so, I interviewed for that, and I was like, I really want it. I think that I can do it, but I don't know. I think they're probably gonna say no. So that was kind of. And I'm going back to the employment office probably tomorrow to hand them all the shit that I did and be like, help, where do I send it? What do I do? Help. And then I found a couple, like, I'm thinking about, I have to think about my schedule, my availability, because if I'm going to be working for this modeling agency, I need to have kind of a flexible schedule. And if I'm working in an office, that's pretty unlikely. So I was looking at various part-time jobs and various make-your-own-schedule kind of jobs. And there's a few companies that do that. Like, in particular, the one I'm thinking of is GABA, which is a teaching thing, but it's a one-on-one thing. You set your own schedule so you can be as part-time or as full-time as you want. And they have opportunities to, once you've been an instructor for a while, you can move up in their company. They have, like, you can go into recruitment, you can go into curriculum development, you can go into financial, like, that's part of their selling point as the schools. Like, yeah, like, if you set your schedule in such a way where you don't have time spots available when the most popular time spots are, which is early morning and evening, night, like, yeah, you're gonna have a bit of problem with that. But if you want to come out here and move into something else, like, over a period of time, we encourage that and we support that. So I might end up, like, talking to them and getting involved with them, because if I do that, like, I don't mind working nights, I don't mind working evenings, it's not a problem for me. Mornings, I can't wake the fuck up, but, like, afternoons, evenings, that's fine. I don't, start me at 3 o'clock, go till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever, cool. 10, I don't care. As long as I get on the lab before the last train, I'm good. So, which would, I mean, but also, like, again, you set your own schedule each month, so, and then the students choose which availability and which teachers they want. So it's very much like your own charisma, your own teaching style keeps your students, attracts your students. So, but because of their flexible system, like, it would be pretty easy to schedule around that and do, get as much of the other stuff as I can. So, yeah. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but the agency told me I can cut my hair. They want me to cut my hair. They're like, no, go back to short. It looked awesome. So I get to cut it. Yay, none of this. Short. Fucking short. Well, not like that. I'll have bangs, but short. And I'm trying to lose weight. I know I say this a lot. Seems like a constant struggle. But, yeah, I'm trying. It helps that it's summer. Although it is the rainy season right now, so I haven't been able to ride my bike as much, but I did ride up to Senkawa today, which is one station past where I live. So I grabbed my bike at my station and then just rode up to Senkawa. Because they actually have a big supermarket there. Like a big one. Like Home Plus or Fred Meyer scale, but a pretty big one for Japan. So I have heartburn really bad right now. Cow piss? Is this your fault? I feel like whenever I drink cow piss, I get heartburn. So check out this child-proof cap on this It's a glass bottle with it. Yeah, I got it. I was like, really, Japan? Okay. Okay, whatever. Go for it. I have no idea for stuff. Yeah. So I rode my bike up to St. College today and back. Got some chicken, got some tortillas, got some lettuce so I can keep making Caesar wraps. Because I imagine those are pretty damn, well, not, like super crazy healthy, but I mean, they're not bad. They're not like ramen, which is what I've been sustaining myself on. Oh, it sucks. If there were a way to make like half a pack of ramen, like a reasonable way to do it, that would be better, because I can only really finish about half of it. Yeah. That's where I'm at. I think that's everything. Yeah. Keep on keeping on, keeping it together like I do. See ya.